This week on Healthy Living, the holiday season prompts awareness on mental health. What stresses you most this time of the year and how do you overcome it? We'll have your answers. Motivational speaker Dr. Omekongo Dibanga shares some tips for your well-being during the holidays and the upcoming new year. Are you having a good night's sleep? A unique mattress keeps track and has the answer. These stories and more in this edition of Healthy Living. Hello, I'm Lina Khmoudou. Thank you for joining us on Healthy Living. It's the holiday season and a time to rejoice and celebrate. After all, it's called the most wonderful time of the year. The holidays certainly call for celebrations, but for some people it can be stressful or lonely, leading to anxiety, depression, and substance abuse. According to recent statistics published by the American Psychological Association, about 69% of people are stressed by the feeling of having a lack of time and money, and over 50% are stressed about the pressure to give gifts. With COVID-19, rising inflation, polarizing politics, Americans are entering the holiday season with a wide range of worries impacting the mental health of some. VOA's Veronica Balderas Iglesias reports on ways people can come together and safeguard their own mental health.
Americans are bracing for the holidays. Some will be gathering in person with their loved ones for the first time since the pandemic's onset almost 2 years ago. And this could lead to strong emotions, especially over delicate matters.
Speaking from personal experience, people definitely have very different views on vaccination and that kind of thing. So I'm sure that'll definitely be a point of contention.
And that will mean being sensitive to people's state of mind after a rough year, says psychiatrist David Charney.
There's a general increase of irritability in the entire population. Whatever comes up, it's not going to be improved by getting into an argument because you're not going to change anybody's mind. Find the areas where there's community of spirit and thought.
A mindful approach is also recommended towards those who are grieving a COVID loss.
What people need is a chance to describe their thoughts and their feelings in their own way and in their own good time. If they are not ready to talk about it, leave them alone.
Paying attention to one's own mental health during the holiday season, especially if spending it alone, will be essential.
14% American adults are addicted to internet. It's causing them serious anxiety, symptoms of depression, and also the fact that their social life is disrupted.
Finding a balance when using technology will reduce the stress, he adds.
Avoid boredom, isolation, do something new, learn a new skill, get a hobby, go out, volunteer, help someone.
Sherry Gallery, whose family has been selling Christmas trees for nearly 40 years, urges people to be around nature.
This, is our small way, I guess, of helping mental health. If people can smell the beautiful smells of live pine, fir trees, that helps.
It's a joy that Chef Adams Hernandez doesn't take for granted after the financial difficulties experienced by the restaurant industry this year.
Finally, we came and had more options, to get Christmas tree, we just bought now. So it's pretty exciting.
So as we head into the holidays, what stresses you most this time of the year and how are you going to overcome it? Here is what some of you had to say from Nairobi, Kenya.
Family for me is very valuable. And when I think about my children, when I think about my family and the resources that I need to take care of them, I think for me that's what stresses me most.
Working with deaf women, they have so much expectations on me. They expect me to support them financially. They expect me to have Christmas gifts. They expect me to be there for them. And this is the time my family also needs me. So those are the most stressful things in my life right now.
My most stressful issue is about traveling. At least at this festival seasons, the matatu are very high, and also the schools now, the fees are high.
One of the things that just stands out is when I was taking care of my mom because she got COVID. I think it was really tough for me for that year, and seeing people around her die, because even in the hospital she was the only one who remained.
One of the things I like doing is to look at the positive things that have happened. They may seem little, but those gives you more hope.
I'm not traveling this time around because I want to concentrate on the few resources that I have.
I'm looking forward to look for means how I can manage how to travel and manage my family.
I'm wondering why December is so near so fast, and for whatever reason, I am just thankful for life. It's just hard to think of big things, whereas I just came out of the bushes of COVID, so I'm just grateful for life.
Dr. Omekongo Dibanga is an educator and motivational speaker. He discusses some steps on how to handle holiday stress and prepare for the new year.
COVID for me, it's spelled COVID. And to me, it stands for continue on, victory is determined. A little over 100 years ago, we had a flu epidemic there as well, 1918. And after that came the roaring 20s, where economically society started to come back in the United States and in other places. And I believe that we're heading in that direction, but we have to stay positive. We have to do everything possible to continue to fight this disease by preserving our health, making sure when we get access to vaccines, we're taking advantage of them. But I believe that we are going to get on the other side of this if we believe that we are all in this together and we continue to support one another wherever we are in society. We are going to be victorious. And if we don't have that mentality, we already lost. You can't commit to bringing the old you into the new year. Make a list of the things that worked for you in 2021 and the things that didn't work, and focus on bringing the things that worked for you into 2022. Stop looking for affirmation in other people of you and start working on affirming yourself. Number one, you wake up, count your blessings to be able to be alive and breathe in the air. Tell yourself that you're beautiful. Tell yourself that you love yourself. Tell yourself that you believe in yourself. Tell yourself that you are proud of yourself. Only you can complete yourself. Don't get caught up in making New Year's resolutions. The majority of the people do not follow through with the New Year's resolutions. What you should start doing is saying, I'm just going to make one small change. If you're somebody who's a smoker and you're smoking 2 packs a day, maybe you're going down to 1.5. When people start saying, cold turkey, oh, I'm going to quit smoking, boom, and it doesn't happen within the first 2 or 3 weeks, people get frustrated, and then they get depressed, and then they go right back to where they started because they feel like it's not possible. We need to take one step a day on our goals. And if you commit to doing it that way, it's not a New Year's resolution. It's a new you lifestyle. When I talk about being happy, happiness isn't a goal. Happiness is a lifestyle. You have to choose the things every single day in those moments that are going to make you whole. And you have to accept the setbacks. Remember that a setback is set up for a comeback, as Willie Jolly says. That's not the end of the road. It's a bend in the road because you have a longer term process in your mind. So you have to tell yourself every single day, FAIL, fail, all it stands for is first attempt in learning. Give yourselves affirmations every single day, things that you can tell yourself. I'll give you one right now. There can only be one me. There was no me before me. There will be no me after me. And since I'm the only me that the world will see, I will be the best me that I can be.
Despite shaky health systems and vaccine drives, the coronavirus pandemic did not hit Africa as badly as many feared. But it did take a toll on the continent's economies in 2021 as movement was restricted and also underscored vaccine inequalities. Linda Givatesh reports from Johannesburg.
When the coronavirus first hit Africa, many observers feared the continent's overall poor healthcare would result in massive casualties. Many Africans are high risk for severe infection due to diabetes and tuberculosis, both too common on the continent. But Africans make up just a fraction of COVID's global death toll.
the young population, it's kind of an advantage for the continent, because even from the statistics for COVID, we have seen that the young people are presenting, majority of them really asymptomatic or mild symptoms. At the beginning of the first 2-3 waves, we see the reported cases are not so much in terms of people that end up in the hospital.
But vaccine inequities have left Africa vulnerable, with less than 10% of the population vaccinated. While vaccine shipments to Africa have increased in 2021, distribution remains a challenge. The WHO cites poor access to vaccines as causing virus variants and new waves of infections.
But we need more to cover more populations in Africa so that we can reduce the risks of all this evolution of variants.
In South Africa, the continent's worst hit by the pandemic, unemployment is near 35%. Frustrations exploded in July as political protests turned into widespread riots and looting.
As we started seeing an opening up of restrictions or less restrictions, we recorded on the Public Violence Monitor that is run by the Institute for Security Studies the highest number of protests ever since we started monitoring protests in 2013. So people were desperate to be heard and desperate for help.
After the worst recession in decades, the African Development Bank projects an economic rebound for Southern Africa in 2022, but the ABD says that recovery also hinges on successful vaccination programs.
Getting a good night's sleep can be elusive, but sleep tracking rings, watches, and even mattresses may offer insight into how to get a better night of sleep. Michelle Quinn reports.
Tossing and turning, awake in the middle of the night. Humans spend about a third of their lives sleeping, or trying to. Sleep tracking technology may offer a window into what's keeping them up. 8 Sleep sells a so-called smart mattress. Vibration-detecting piezoelectric sensors are packed into the mattress bedding.
They act almost like a stethoscope, where it's picking up on all the different vibrations at the different frequencies that your body is emitting throughout the night.
An algorithm sifts through the night's data for information on body temperature, number of breaths taken, rollovers, and resting heart rate. The next morning, users check their sleep app to see how they did in the various stages of sleep.
You had 15 tosses and turns. We noticed that you got up during the night, so then you can really gauge an understanding of, you can break apart your sleep and figure out what's going on during those 8 hours.
For example, people don't sleep as well with their pets in bed as they think they do.
The pet in the bed is to have an impact, probably because the pet is also moving during the night. And we see the same with partners. So when you're sharing the bed with someone, people who go to bed together and get out of bed together, they will sleep better.
In the future, the company hopes to add more sensors to its mattress to detect changes in a person's body beyond sleep, information that might point to potential health issues.
Happy holidays!
Welcome, Baal.
Bonne année, eyengai lamu.
A madadin dukkan masu ba da gudunmuwa ga shirin lafiyarmu, Alheri Grace Abdi ce ke ku da ƙaunatattun duka fata alheri da kuma fatar an shekara lafiya.
Maisha na Afya inakutakia maandalizi mema ya sikukuu ya Christmas na mwaka mpya popote pale unapoangalia VOA.
Yes, it's the holiday season and we wish you a joyful time filled with love, peace and cheerful celebration.
Tika ete mitema na bino banson, mitonda na bolingo kimia pe esengo.
Meilleurs vœux de bonheur et de succès pour 2022 à vous et vos proches. Et surtout, une très bonne santé à tous.
መጪው የጎርጎሮሳውያኑ 2022 ዓመተ ምህረት የሰላምና የጤና እንዲሆንላችሁ ተመኘን።
From all of us here at Healthy Living, have a memorable and safe holiday. All the best to you and your loved ones for the upcoming new year. And strive to make every day in 2022 a healthy day.